George and I need to have a talk about money. He made me a lot of promises, and now I'm here and he's not coming through.
What the Anfisa keyed my car. So you're basically saying that you're just dating me because I can buy you things?
Yes?
Awesome! Welcome to another George and Anfisa rewatch video. In this part 2 video, we will answer the question we ended on with the last video, part 1. Is Anfisa only with George for his money? Most of us watching already know the answer to this question, but the way things play out in these scenes, this whole thing is actually a lot more unhinged than I remember. So George and Anfisa have now looked at wedding dresses and engagement rings, and George has decided that they need to compromise on the cost of both. Have a real discussion about finances. Sounds reasonable, but this conversation leads into one of the most iconic scenes in 90 Day history.
What if I didn't have the ability?
Then I wouldn't be sitting here with you now.
So you're basically saying that you're just dating me because I can buy you things?
Yes?
I mean, at least she's honest. This also answers the question of if love will prevail. Is the money more important than the actual relationship? Right now, the answer is the money is more important. It also provides the real answer as to why Anfisa came to the US to be with George, and why she answered his DM online, if you think about it. In the intro about their relationship, George says that he at first could not get Anfisa to respond to him when he messaged her. So what did he do? He claimed that he just said something funny, and she answered. And maybe he did, but he must have also said something like, "Hey, I can buy you whatever you want. The sky's the limit." So she responded, and she has no shame now in admitting that that's really the only reason she was interested in him: money. He promised her that she could have whatever she wanted, so she came to the US. And she even turns it around to say that he also had an agenda when he started talking to her.
If I was ugly and fat, would you be dating me?
So now that he's calling her out, "You're only with me for my money," and he's also admitting that he doesn't have an infinite amount of money, that should technically be the end of this now. Anfisa can roll her eyes until they get stuck in the back of her head. It will not change the fact that he was not honest about how much he has.
As much as I want to stop her from leaving to Russia, what would be the point if she's going to still continue to be the same?
And that's where it seems like this is going. They're going to end this halfway through their 90 days. At one point, even the camera crew can't get a hold of them to film, and it turns out that Anfisa kicked George out of the apartment.
I spent the night in the garage.
So?
But they seem to just fight and make up. She even says at one point that she's still expecting him to properly propose and get her a wedding dress. So there ends up being no breakup and no plan to send her home yet. Instead, things just get more and more toxic between them when Anfisa gets bored home alone while George works.
I feel like I'm just like in a cage or something.
She just told him that money is all that matters. So instead of just calling it quits, he just tries to make more money. And he also decides that he is still going to go get a ring and propose, which is like crazy. This guy just learned that his fiance is only with him so he can buy her stuff, sleeps in the garage, and then goes and buys a ring.
Be 18,800.
And Anfisa starts to become more and more controlling.
What's that noise?
It's my fiance.
Hello?
So he's working more to make more money, he's gone more, but the more he's away, the more she calls him. In this scene, when he's trying to make a deal with a customer, he gets so angry with her that he backpedals on proposing that day.
I need to make this money. What the
I mean, proposing seemed like a stupid idea at this point anyways. Also, I noticed that this is like the second ring shop trip and we still don't see a ring. Instead, we just see him get kicked out again.
She just told me to get out.
So you start to wonder, what is going to make Anfisa get on a plane and leave now? Or him take her to the airport and be done? And the answer is her keying his freaking car.
What the Anfisa keyed my car.
She etched "idiot" into his car. And that seems to finally get George to try to take her to the airport. At least that's what he says he's doing in this scene. But she comes out and he walks her over to the car And there's no luggage. If she's going back to Russia, where is the luggage? The film crew is running around, like trying to follow them, but can't. And after a while, the producers figure out that George came back with Anfisa. He says that they couldn't find her a flight back. And then that's it.
I tried to get the ticket and it didn't work out.
She's back. Like nothing happened. So what did just happen though? Did he really take her to the airport or not? And I'm sure that most of you noticed that the car she keyed wasn't this car. During this rewatch, I noticed at least 3 cars George is driving around. One being this white one is this black SUV, and one is this Jeep. He has said that a lot of his job is making deliveries for his business. So if any of that was sketchy, we find out later if it is or not, that would probably answer why he has multiple cars. And I kind of wonder if he started doing more sketchy stuff now at this point to buy his way back into Anfisa's heart or something. I'm not sure. But back to the airport situation. Why did he drive her away and then come back with her? He says he couldn't find a ticket, but he could have found her a ticket online before they left, I would think. I thought that he was actually so mad that he was just dropping her off at the airport and just leaving her there and then figuring out the ticket later. But again, she had no luggage. So now I'm thinking that maybe they just didn't want to film anymore or something. Comment below what you think. I can't find an actual answer to this anywhere. So even though she's back from the airport and they're still not getting along, George is actually not even staying at their apartment anymore, they do decide to have a dinner together and figure out what is really next for them. And something unexpected happens. I thought that they would be done, that this was over. But Anfisa opens up about how she's feeling.
I don't have my family here. I feel lonely.
I do feel like it's a little late for that though. I thought scratching idiot into the car door was enough of an expression of how she was feeling. But George seems to love this, love that she's opening up, and he doesn't seem mad anymore about her keying his freaking car. So she's doing something she does rarely. She is apologizing.
I need to change. I need to be more calm and more patient. So I'm gonna try to do that.
But I got confused by this. I thought that the scene from earlier was how she really felt. She only wants George for his money. Isn't that supposed to be the truth? Her attitude here seems completely different.
I lose everything, go broke. Like, would you still love me?
Of course.
And George buys it. So what is going on here? Does Anfisa really have some sort of feelings for George? I mean, she really had a chance to jump ship here. They aren't married yet. This would have been the moment.
Pastor Ben wants to remind you to subscribe to the Kibbles channel. If you don't, he will appear and read you his creepy train story.
It was a runaway train, every passenger's nightmare. The old train came off the wheels. Baby, my beautiful mahogany, the train is already going too fast to stop. Let's just dance.
Did he make more empty promises to her when he took her to the airport? I don't know, because all of a sudden she seems to agree to a quick wedding since their 90 days are almost up.
We can just do a court wedding, just get paperwork done.
And that's what they do. They don't tell George's family. They get ready and go to the courthouse and get married. But I did notice that in the interviews around their courthouse wedding, Anfisa mentions 2 things. One, that they need to get married to get her green card.
Okay.
We'll need a lot of papers and money.
And 2, she is still expecting an extravagant wedding later.
It's gonna take a little of preparations, and we need to buy me a dress, shoes.
So I do think at this point that she has to have some sort of feelings for George. She must still think that George has an okay enough financial situation to marry him, but also it seems like she has the green card to look forward to if he doesn't give her what she wants. People might not agree with my thinking on that, but I can't think of any other reasons why she would stay if George doesn't have some sort of money that she wants. I think her initial plan was to be taken care of by George, but now the backup plan is the green card. So they did it. They made it official, got married in their 90 days. Do we think that Anfisa would have married George at all if she knew his true financial situation? Because in my next video, part 3, she finds out what George really has. Debt and all. And it changes everything. It's not good. So that video will be posted on my next posting day. I will put the part 3 posting date in a pinned comment on this video. If you are watching this later and part 3 is already posted, the link for that will be included in the description below. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!